Today we're going to read a book of ordinary people change the world. And the first book that we're going to read is I Am Jim Henson by Brad Meltzer, illustrated by Christopher Eliopoulos. Scholastic News. I like the book fine so far. It hasn't started yet. That's what I like about it. Oh ho ho ho. Ordinary people change the world. I am Jim Henson. Brad Meltzer, illustrated by Christopher Eliopoulos. Scholastic Ink. I am Jim Henson. Oh good, you're here. What's the fun of a story if you don't have anyone to share it with? Growing up in Mississippi, I used to love to watch birds. I even made my own book where I would list each bird I saw and add my own drawings. That bird is up there is my favorite, the blackbird. Blackbirds have fun personalities and also love their other name, the Grinkle. Don't you just love funny words named like that? My whole life I love cookie words. Want to know what else I loved? Laughing. As a kid, this was one of my favorite family jokes. My mom used to play it on my brother and me. Say when. Judy, that's enough. Mom, that's enough. Mom! You didn't say when. At 8 years old, I'd come here to the movie theater every Saturday, my favorite places. For 15 cents, I could get a bag of popcorn and spend the whole day watching cartoons, news, real action movies, and comedies. My favorite were the ones with wild clothing and far off action, like the Old West and foreign countries. The rest of the week, my friends and I would recreate what we saw in the movies using homemade props and costumes. Look, the great snake charmer. Bed sheet as turban. Garden hose as snake. Look, a star tattoo. We're cut like a star. Here then charm black. Star tattoo. It was that bad guy you had in the movie. With a little imagination, we start pretending there was no limit to what we could create. My grandparents played a big role in my life. I got my middle name Mari from my grandfather, who loved to laugh too. But he never laughed at anyone, never made fun of people. As for my grandmother, he was my best audience. When she came over to visit, we'd use paint, glue, and crayons to make the most amazing projects. She was the one who adored me to draw things that made me happy. Monsters with giant mouths and birds with big eyes. Ta-da! I adore it, Jimmy. Now tell me the story about each creature. Those days with my grandmother changed my life. She encouraged me to tell stories. She supported my love of reading, and she was amazing with a needle and thread. She could do anything. What is that? It's a coat made out of army blanket. Like it? Like it? Gee, I really do. But the most important thing she taught me was that with my imagination, I could do anything. I could be anything, including a performer. One night during the skit in Cub Scouts, I had one of my friends stand in front of everyone with his hands behind his back, then put my own hands in, and what's so funny? I'm being serious here. I can still hear that crowd laughing. I always loved to good performance. Growing up, I listened to shows on the radio like Green Horton, The Shadow, and one of favorite comedies, a minstrel named Engar Bergen. Even enough Engar Bergen did the voice I never thought. Charlie McCarthy, one of his other characters, were puppets. They were humans to me. His work was magic in real sense. It seemed impossible. Oh, that's what magic is. It's created, wonder, and create. Dream that I'd seen their picture in newspaper, but there with each show an ordinary object came to life. Once upon a time, a long ago. Funny, nothing ever happens nowadays. Something happens when Agar spoke through Charlie. The puppeteer wasn't just sharing jokes. He was sharing the best parts of himself. Our people were listening. When I was 13, I knew technology changed my life. At friends' houses, I saw an invention called television. You have a television? We've just got it. Isn't it cool? Can we get a TV? Can we get a TV? Can we get a TV? Can you please stop? Sure. Now can we get a TV? I wouldn't give up. Soon my parents gave in. On TV, I found comedians like Sid Garcia, Minton Burley, and Jack Benny. One of my favorite was Ernie Convance. Was tilting the set and camera so everything slid sideways. I especially loved variety shows which had big casts that would sing, dance, and do comedy. And there was Coakley, Frank, and Ollie. The show were jokes, puppets, and jokes, and sang with a human concert. The way they talked to each other, it was like those puppets were alive. Right away, I knew one thing: I wanted to work in television. At 16 years old, I went looking for a job at the local TV stations. Sorry, kid. Sorry, kid. Sorry, kid. There has to be another place that hire me. They all said no, but like the time I begged for a TV, I never gave up. Soon after, local station announced it was looking for a puppeteer. I never used a puppet before, but my whole life I loved creating. This was the job I wanted. So, how'd I get it? The same way you any dream, hard work. I went to high school library, took out books on puppetry, built a few puppets, and went back to the station WTOP. Now I am a puppeteer. Will you hire me? They gave me a chance. That was all I needed. Was my first show a success? No, it was canceled. But did I give up? Not a chance. My partner and I continue creating, continue working hard. And eventually we got it our own 5 minutes before the Tonight Show. Along the way, we came with a name for our characters. But it really was just a fun word, like wrinkle. By the way, this is Jane. She worked on shows with me. We're going to get married someday. Wait, we get married during the ending. Our show was called Sam and Friends, and we need a new puppet. And that the answer was right, the plain sight. I was 18 years old and found my mother's old wool coat. I cut it apart and sewed it anew by my grandmother taught me that one. I gave up it's a point face. I gave it a point face. I glued on half on a ping pong ball for eyes, and then I became the one who performed his voice. Yes, he was back, and he wasn't even frog, but he did have a name, Kermit. With each show, we kept inventing new characters, dreaming up new ways to make people laugh on TV. Like the puppet stage, there were no walls, so we could film our puppets from far away, or bring them really close for a easy laugh. A while old-fashioned puppets had frozen experience. Our Muppets faces could move. We could do faces that were funny, angry, or sad. To make our Muppets seem even more real, we crossed their eyes slightly. That gave them focus. Now they're started to come to alive. No focus? Focus. Do you want to know my real secret practice? We would practice in a mirror over and over until it was just right. The only way people would feel a sense of wonder was if we could give each character a life of its own. Let's do it again, fellas. This is Jerry Jewell, who writes for the Muppets. This is Don Sahin, who helps build the Muppets. And Frank Oz, who will be the voice of performer of Grover and Yoda. Who's Yoda? Don't ruin the ending. 2 TV productions named Joanne Gans Cooney and John Stone we're about to meet a of all a lifetime. We want to create a show that will change the lives of children, especially those who families don't have options. We want to show can help them learn to read and count. It can be fun, right? Sesame Street. Since kids love the Muppets, we built Muppets who could interact directly with the kids. We began with a big yellow bird who's a child himself. That's me, Big Bird. Then we added a grouchy green monster named Oscar. They know who I am. I mean Oscar. On November 10th, 1969, the first episode aired. It was a smash hit. Every episode, Sesame Street taught ABCs. C for cookie. That's and 1, 2, 3. That's 4. 4 beautiful bats. It was one of the first shows that had kids of different races played and learned together. It taught kids how to share, how to take turns, and how to get along. Certainly, with all of zany creatures, it made us laugh. But it's at its best with songwriters like Joe Rothbell's Sesame Street. It made us think especially about the kind of people want to be. And green's the color of spring. And green could be cool, like and friendly, like. And green could be like an ocean, or important like a mountain, or tall like a tree. The Muppets and I went on adventures, and now to bring on our favorite old friends. It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Mr. Engar Bergens. Yay! Every week of Muppet Show, frogs, pigs, and bears, and creatures of all kinds minded the world of despite all the chaos. Chaos! Chaos! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh boy, what a crowd. I approve of belly dancers. Why can't they dance on the floor like everyone else. Waka waka. Good grief, the commune's a bear. Sorry about that, folks. As I was saying on the Muppet Show and on Sesame Street, I wanted our audience to know that despite all chaos and despite all difference, there is nothing more fun than being together. From the never stop creating, dreaming, and in facts performed. The more fun we had, the more my dreams grew, bringing millions of people together. What can possibly be more magical than that? Life like a movie, write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. We've just won and what we set out to do. Thanks to the lovers, the dreamers, and you. In my life, I love to create, but the secret behind best creation wasn't a strong hand, catchy song, or even a funny voice. It was a simple idea. They're good in all of us. Sure, they're all different. Some of us have beards or hair or no hair or blue fur or green flippers or goodness live in each of us. That's an idea that should never be old. You live in the good of sharing or create something new, share what you love, and find other who believe those favorite things you dream about together. We can make it magic. Today on Sesame Street is watched by millions of kids, more than 150 countries worldwide, from Brooklyn to Bangladesh and Dutch. At its peak, the Muppet Show was watched by 135 million people per week. Did you know he even started the Jim Henson Foundation to promote the development and the art of puppetry? To ruin the ending, but is this the ending? I think that's the secret. As long as there are new dreamers, new people who love and pretend, this is the story that never ends. Guess what? I want to create cool things too, just like you. Gee, thanks you so much. Don't let anything stop you. To start when we're kids, that's when we learn someone of the best things in life. Laughing, sharing, imagination, dreaming, creating, never stop doing them, and never stop being kind. And there's nothing wrong with being a do-gooder. I am Jim Henson. And I will keep believing and keep pretending. I've got a dream too, but it's about singing and dancing and making people happy. That's the kind of dream that gets better and better the more people you share it with. Kermit the Frog. Young Jim as snake charmer. Jim and Jane with Sam and Friend puppets. Original Sesame Street cast with puppeteers. Here's Frank Oz with Jim. Frank Oz and Jim with Miss Piggy and Kermit. Timeline. September 24th, 1936. We're in Greenville, Mississippi. 1954. First Helvin and Aunt Junior Moore show in Washington, D.C. 1955. Sam and Friends premieres. 1955. Makes first Kermit Muppet. May 28, 1959. Here's Jane Nebel. 1969. Sesame Street premieres. 1974. The Muppets of Sesame Street win first Emmy Award. 1976. The Muppet Show premieres. 1977. Emmett Otter's Jugman premieres. 1979. The Muppet Movie premieres. 1983. Private Rock premieres. May 16, 1990. Dies in New York City. And that's the story of I Am Jim Henson by Brad Meltzer, illustrated by Christopher Eliopoulos. Elastic. Ordinary people change the world. Now, see you with another one of these books. Bye.